Hey guys, welcome to FatherStack's Rambling Reviews, and today I am doing the 2000 film Spiders. Now this is a creature feature, and it starts off where a lot of monster movies, spider movies like this start in fucking space. It starts off with a bunch of government agents who are doing DNA experiments on a NASA space shuttle. And the spider kills the crew aboard and it smashes into the desert. Now, apparently, according to like some synopses, it's a meteor shower that causes this. I did not see a meteor, let alone a fucking meteor shower. I just assumed that the crew crashed the space shuttle due to them being attacked by this spider. And it goes on to this journalist and her crew, who are probably in their mid-20s, maybe early 20s, and they are working for like a uni newspaper, like a college newspaper, and they're looking to get the latest scoop. And they're like, especially the main girl, Marcy, she's obsessed with aliens and government experiments and government kind of, conspiracies and all this. And they meet these two aliens, what they think are aliens, in the headquarters, the what would you call it, in the newsroom, in the news kind of, the journalist kind of headquarters. And they start speaking gobbledygook, and Marcy shows them a photo that she's found, and they freak out, and she gets the idea that that's where they came from. So they go to the site. I think it's called Area 31 or something like that. It's clearly I don't know if they had the rights to use Area 51, but they called it something like Area 32 or the Area 30 something. And they go to the desert and they find the crashed space shuttle. Upon entering the space shuttle, they find the crew dead, apart from one guy who's barely alive. His face is all deformed, and they want to help him. The government, the men in black of this film, are going about and obviously trying to cover it up. And they take the bodies, they throw them in the back of a truck where the journalists are hiding. And there's one guy I'll get on to who reminds me of Willem Dafoe, who's he just goes around fucking shooting everyone he doesn't like. There's one guy who's this man needs help. The dying guy needs help. This man needs help because are you fucking insane? And he just grabs you and shoots the doctor. The doctor that says it. He shoots the doctor right in the head. I don't know why he does this. The guy is just clearly insane. So they're trapped in this truck, and they get taken to this underground, what looks like a research facility, and they're trying to follow the dying man. So they follow him into this room, this kind of almost like an emergency room kind of place, and in a very alien inspired scene, inspired from the Ridley Scott's Alien, the spider comes out of the man's mouth, kills him, and attacks a couple of researchers or scientists. I don't know what they are, doctors. I don't know. Kills a bunch of them, and because before that, I should have mentioned before that, when they're still in the space shuttle, you see a spider going about, and it lays an egg inside the guy. Not unlike Alien. Before the Willem Dafoe guy, the not Willem Dafoe guy, steps on it. No, I apologise. Before Willem Dafoe, not Willem Dafoe's partner, steps on it, and he gets a bollocking for that. He gets told off, and he scoops it into a little Ziploc bag for experimental purposes. Because they seem to love this spider. They've obviously done experiments on it. They seem to love this thing. So back in the research facility, they're trying to run away from the spider. It goes about killing people. They see a bunch of conspiracy shit going on, which I'll get onto in a little while. And then the spider goes about killing people, and Marcy is left to kind of defend herself, trying to survive, and that's pretty much it. It's your basic monster movie. So I'll go into the pros and cons of this film. Now, the effects in this film it uses both practical effects and CGI. So into the pros, the effects are done by K&B, which is run by Robert Kurtzman, Gregory Nicotero and Howard Berger. A pretty big deal nowadays. This must have been them kind of starting out. They've done films like the Hostel series. I think they've done the Wishmaster films. They've done there's a series of short films I'm going to cover soon called Masters of Horror. They're not short films as such. It's just they made about 26 episodes. They made 2 seasons of Masters of Horror, which are all an hour long kind of horror films, and they've done all the effects on those. They've done the Hostel series. You've seen their work, especially Gregory Nicotero. He's a pretty big deal now. He does the effects on what's it called? The Walking Dead. He even directed a couple of episodes of The Walking Dead. He's doing the new Creepshow series, the new TV series. They're a pretty big deal. Although Robert Kurtzman, I think his name is. I forget. I don't have that written down. He's left. He left about 10 years ago, and the practical effects in this are pretty decent. They're not too bad. Like when you see the spider come out of the guy's mouth and that, the guy himself, when you see him all disfigured, that's proper makeup and stuff. And that's a proper dummy and an animatronic you see coming out of the guy's mouth. And later on, as the spider grows, it's actual puppets and the like. At the end, you see the big giant spider, and sometimes that's actually like a giant puppet, and it took like 6 men to kind of move all the different parts and that. That's quite admirable. I like all that. So that's pretty much it for the pros. It's kind of entertaining in its own little way. It's now I'm going to go on to the cons, and there are quite a lot of them. There's some ADR work that's pretty horrific in this. For those who don't know, ADR is additional dialogue recording. That's like once in post-production, after a film's finished, they'll sometimes have to record extra dialogue in case maybe certain sounds have gotten in the way, or it just didn't sound right. Maybe it was too echoey for various different reasons, and just pretty much like dubbing. It's pretty much dubbing, or how an animated TV show would work. They go in a little booth, put the headset on, and they'll record their lines. Sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. In this case, the ADR in this is pretty bad. You can tell it's, you can tell horrible ADR work is so obvious, and it sounds horrible. There's the acting for the most part is again pretty horrific. The pacing for the most part pretty bad, especially the end third of it. The last 20 minutes or so, half an hour to 20 minutes, kind of not needed in my opinion. It seems tacked on. It could have ended. There's a certain point in the film where you think, oh, that could be the end, but no, it goes on and on and on and on. And it's like a separate film, and I don't think it's needed. That's pretty much it for like the cons. I'm trying to think. Yeah, the CGI effects. I was going on about not how good the practical effects are. Sometimes they're good. You know, they're pretty passable. Say maybe like a 7 out of 10, and then sometimes the practical effects are about a 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10. The CGI effects, on the other hand, are, again, I know I'm overusing this word, they're horrific. The CGI is just, remember, this is 2000, but I mean, the CGI effects are really bad. Right after the spider crawls at the guy's mouth, looks good, looks alright, then it crawls along the wall, and it looks terrible. There's a scene where the villain, the fool guy, gets a web wrapped around him, and it's clearly a CGI web. Looks like a fucking Bugs Bunny cartoon. It's really, really bad. There's one of my favourite scenes in this film is where they're falling down a lift shaft, like an elevator shaft, and because they're climbing the ladder off the lift, and the big giant spider comes, and they fall, and it's like a CGI and green screen. I was like, ah! That's what it's like me doing this. Imagine these posters behind me aren't here. It's just like the white wall and just me going, ah! It's like that. And then a big giant spider comes and kills our cameraman. Like I say, there's 3 main guys. There's Marcy, the main reporter, there's the cameraman, and then there's the other guy. I don't know who he is, but he reminded me of Hyde from that 70s show. He's got the curly hair and the glasses, and his acting especially is really, really bad. And there's a part where they find they find a frozen astronaut, because remember they're looking for conspiracies. This whole film is pretty much all about the conspiracies, the government are hiding things, and they find a frozen astronaut, and it's got Apollo 18. It's got Apollo 18? It ended in Apollo 17. There isn't an Apollo 18. And there's a little thing I kind of thought about is like the movie Apollo 18, which it's a pretty bad movie. It's really bad, and the monsters in that are kind of like spiders. I don't know whether the makers of that had seen this film, but I like to think they did. Yeah, they find again a frozen. When they find the astronaut, they also find one of JFK. It's not actually explicitly stated it is JFK, but it's got his date of death, when he was assassinated, and that was like, yeah, we get it, I don't know whether they put that in for fun, or if I don't know whether the makers of this film are actually believing in all these conspiracy theories or not. I tend to think they make do. There's also a part where you see another one that says Morrison J, so it's Jim Morrison, and then right after it just says Commander was right, no one here gets out alive, which is a lyric from 5 to 1 by The Doors. It's also the name of Jim Morrison's autobiography. I think the autobiography was released posthumously, but I don't know that. Maybe it was released when he was alive. It was clearly, obviously written when he was alive, hence it being an autobiography. But I don't know. I think it might have been released after he died, but don't quote me on that. There's a part where they're trying to take a breather, and they're just sitting down and say MIL, and it stands for it says Project MIL, and then they go. One guy goes, military. They're trying to figure out what the abbreviation is. And one guy says, military industrial liaison. And the other guy goes, merchant in lace. And eventually the girl goes, mother in law. Which, as I'm saying it, might not make much sense, but the fact that they hear the term mother in law about 50 times before the scene is just like, come on, it's so obvious, They didn't even need to guess it. It's just like, as soon as I see MIL, I go, oh, yeah, mother-in-law, Project Mother-in-Law. So they go and check that place out, and that's when the Hyde guy, I'm going to call him Hyde because he reminds me of the guy from 70s Show. He's just been bitten by a spider, and he finds out that the venom from this particular spider, after hacking the government's computer, for a government agency, they should have shitty. They should have a shitty protection or something, and he finds out that the mortality rate for this particular spider is 100%. So he knows he's going to die. He freaks out, and then he chases after it with a weird knife thing. I don't know what it is. He freaks out. They try to calm him down. He freaks out, and then he gets killed. His acting's horrible in the scene. It is really, really bad. At times, like in the scene I was talking about, it's like it's acted like a stage play. You know, it's like it's amateur dramatics. You know, it's very it's very over the top. It's very. I don't know whether that's just the direction of the film or if it's just like the really untalented actors. Probably both. It's probably both. There's. You can imagine going to your local theatre and watching this as a stage play. It's the acting's that bad. There's a scene where Marcy's kind of sitting down after her friends have been killed, because the cameraman guy, he dies after the fall from the lift shaft. She goes, "Go on without me, go on." She manages, because they're stuck in the spider web. She gets off easily. She just takes off her jacket, and he's like, even though he's kind of wearing the jacket, he's stuck there when the big spider comes and pierces him. But it's kind of well done. It kind of gets lowered down on a big string, and then but you actually see it puncturing them and stuff. And then when she's sitting down after all this panicking, she hears the voices of her dead friends, of kind of things they've said before. I found that really, really funny. Yeah, there's a scene. There's these two guys, two kind of military guys, and they're looking for the spider. One guy says, he goes, "What are you gonna do when you find it?" And the guy said, "I'm gonna kill that fucker." I find that really, again, this is one of these really laughing loud moments. And then one of the guys, he just gets killed by the spider. He just dies. And there's another scene where the spider actually gulps. The spider just goes, it's like, this spider just gulp? Is that something I don't know? I'm not a zoologist by any means, or a arachnologist. I don't know what someone who studies spiders is called, but I would imagine it would have Iraq in it. Not Iraq the country, like Iraq. But also, I don't know if that would just come under zoology as a whole. But I don't know if if spiders actually do gulp. There's a part, kind of, as it's coming to like the last third of the film, the other agent, the guy that's not the wonderful guy, the young guy, suddenly becomes the main hero with Marcy, and there is absolutely zero build up to him ever being a leading man type. I would understand if there's been a progression to him possibly being like a leading man. None of that. You can tell that he disagrees with the wonderful guy, but no, there's none of that. He also there's a scene towards the end after they've killed the spider. I can't remember if they killed the spider. They do. It's in the lift. They're going down in the lift, and they press the buttons, and the numbers of the lift go up, but the lift is going down. So that's a big continuity error there, and the spider's underneath it and squashes the spider. So the head to head to the main guy's office, the head of the newspaper that Marcy works for. They head to his office, and they find him dead with a bullet in his head. And then the full guy's back. And miraculously, he says, "Yeah, I've risen like a phoenix from the flames." And then he starts gagging. You can see this coming, and he loosens his tie as he's kind of choking. And then you see the spider bursting out of him, which, with the way I'm explaining it, sounds really cool, but it's done in the worst CGI effect I've seen in a long, long time. It just bursts out of him. And then you see the pieces of him exploding. The pieces kind of exploding, that's clearly real, but when you see the spider coming out of his back, it's really, really cheesy looking. So the spider grows, bursts out the building, goes on a rampage throughout the city. This is where none of this fits in. Everybody runs from like the college campus, knocks over cars, it kills people. And do you know what? There are times when it's knocking over the cars, you can tell that's the real spider, the real animatronic, and then you can tell when it's the fake CGI spider. I mean, I say fake CGI spider as if the animatronic isn't fake, but you know what I mean. There's a huge difference. It's it's really off-putting to me because it's so obvious. And then they track it down in a helicopter and find it throughout the city. And they start off chasing it by day, and then by the time they find it, crawling up a building, obviously like a reference to King Kong, they say it's laying its eggs. It's looking for a place to lay its eggs. They shoot it with a rocket launcher, misses. Well, hits it, but it's stick armour. You know, it says it'll pierce any armour except for the giant fucking spider. So she ends up having to shoot it down its throat, and it dies. Also, I should mention that when the space shuttle hits the desert, it's clearly like a toy space shuttle hitting like a bit of sand or something. Like they've made it look like nighttime. It's clearly just it's clearly just like a toy, just going into like a sandbox or something. I was like, yeah, that's. I mean, I know miniatures are used a lot, but I just find that really amusing. Also, apparently, when the two aliens in the newsroom are talking to each other, it sounds like gobbledygook. Apparently, that's Dutch. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't speak Dutch, but yeah. So I don't know what they're saying, but yeah. And maybe they've sped it up a little bit because it is really, really fast. The way, especially when the guy starts freaking out, it is really fast. So maybe they've sped it up. So yeah, that's just a little thing I noticed. So yeah, that's Spiders. It's a bad movie. It's really bad. The acting's terrible. Special effects are terrible. Well, CGI effects are terrible. The bad guy is. I do kind of like him in this, as bad as he is. It's. I think I like this for nostalgic reasons. I got this as part of it's Hollywood DVD. It's came with an old DVD player. These were put out by the thousands probably. With every new DVD player you got the creature features, you got the action one, you got the horror one, and it all had a bunch of films like this, all double-sided DVDs, and they were all mostly shitty films. I probably in the future I will cover Spiders 2, Octopus 2. I've not seen Octopus or Octopus 2 yet, but I will probably cover them in the future. I have seen Spiders 2, and I won't be covering it next week, but sometime in the future I'll cover the rest of them. But these kind of things were they were spat out in the bucket load. Anybody that had an old school DVD player probably has a copy of this. I actually reordered this a couple of years ago, but me and my brother actually bought the single copy of this years and years ago probably when I was about 14. Well, so yeah, this came out in 2000, and I would imagine we got it about 2001. So when I was about 13, 14, and yeah, we watched it, we enjoyed it, and yeah, I still kind of enjoy it for what it is. It is a bad film. It's poorly made, but I don't know. There is something I enjoy about it. But I think it's mostly nostalgia goggles. It is it's an hour and a half. It should have been about 70 minutes. The last act isn't needed. I think it could have easily ended at the lift part. It's also there's also something else I was going to say. Yeah, it's an hour and a half. Too long, in my opinion. Yeah, the first act of it, the first 30 minutes, 35 minutes, really slow. I can imagine a lot of people giving up way before that. Once they get to because it takes about 35 minutes before you see the first spider coming out the guy. It's clearly a rip-off of Alien. I don't. You could say it's a tribute, but I don't see much as a tribute. I see more of a rip-off. There are much better monster movies out there. I'm a big fan of monster movies, but this isn't my favourite. But I do enjoy it. But realistically, as a film, I would give it in terms of how it's made and all the rest of it, I'd give it a probably 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10 maybe. My enjoyment of it though, which is usually what I rate films on my enjoyment, I'd give it maybe a 5 out of 10, maybe 5.5 out of 10. So if you want to check it out. Let me know what you think of it. If you've seen it, also let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you want to see more videos, feel free to subscribe. I'd love to have new subscribers. I do this just for fun. I don't get paid for this. I just love talking about films. I love informing people, little facts and stuff. If you want me to cover a film that you would recommend, let me know in the comments, and I'll try my best to cover it in the future. And I try to keep to a schedule, but I said 2 weeks. That's turning out to be pretty difficult for me with work and all the rest. So I'm not going to keep to a schedule. I'll make a video whenever I can. I should have one tomorrow. I should. If not, I apologise, but I will try to get a video as fast as I can. So let me know what you think of this, and I shall be back hopefully pretty soon. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you.